Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I am back today, but today I wanted to do a story time. I just thought about something and I just think about how retarded I am, how dumb I can be at times, and how dumb my decisions could have been. But you know what they say, everything's a learning experience, right? I probably look funny as fuck right now. It's cool though. So, briefly, I wanted to tell you guys about the time when I lived, okay, I live in New York. I was about 20 years old, and um, I was not in a relationship, but to the other person, I kind of was. It doesn't make sense, I know. Um, he was an older man, and he was supposed to be a trusting person, and I don't really want to put his name out there. I don't even really want to say this, but it's part of the story, it's part of the experience, so I can share with you guys my life and my experiences that I've had. And this dude was probably like in his 50s, and he was supposed to be like the person that was trusted to be with me, like a mentor, you know. But he sort of took advantage of me, and I never told anybody. I never came clean about it, and I wasn't very comfortable with it, but I had to live with it because the time that was my life, and I didn't really know where else to go or what to do, and I didn't want to really go back to where I was from originally. So I was with this guy, like just kind of living there, you know, helping, and I finally got a job later on to try to support myself and help myself and to help him, you know. So I was kind of involved a little deep, and he's seen it as more than what I seen it. So it was kind of like, you know, like you do as I say, you know, whatever, you have this place to live, I'll let you stay here, but you have to do what I say. And me being young and inexperienced, I didn't really know, you know, I didn't know any better, and I was only 20, so I did as he said. And then here comes a time when I started to get lonely in my life. I started to get tired. I started to get just frustrated, you know, because I couldn't do what I wanted to do. I was always tied up. And my family didn't really know my life there and what was going on with me. And I couldn't open up to them and tell them, like, this is what's been happening. And this person was supposed to be trusted with me. But instead, they went and stepped out of that and broke the trust and broke, you know, the rules of what was set on me being able to live there. So I was involved, but I wanted to be free. I wanted to break free of that. I wanted to experience my life in other ways and be young and have that 20-year-old life, because I didn't really have a teenage life. I didn't really have much of, I mean, I had a childhood, but it wasn't like, you know, all that. It was so much like just bad things and drama. So I missed out on my 20s because I've always been kind of just in tied up with somebody, you know. I've been on lockdown. I've been cuffed up. So this man was he was a lot older, a lot more experienced. He was in the music industry. He was very busy all the time with a lot of things. So I was alone a lot of the times at the apartment by myself. And I always wanted to do things, you know, like hang out and have friends and be able to leave and just do whatever. I could have easily done things, but you know, some guys in New York just were just crazy. So I decided not to do that. So I get in contact with this guy that I met, like, okay, back then, because I was 15 when I was talking to this older man, and he was 5 years older than me. I was 15 when I started talking to him, and I did lie about my age because I really liked him, and me and my friend at the time used to talk to him a lot. So, I got out of contact with him, and I'm like, I'm never going to talk to him again. I always missed him. I always wondered where he was at. I always wanted to know, because he used to call me, and then like he was moving from Florida to somewhere else, and then I remember him talking about a hurricane, so he ended up in Chicago, and I always wondered what happened to him. So then I ended up finding his email. I remembered his email from like my brain, because when you're a very lonely person, you don't have a lot to, you know what I mean? Like, you try to hold on to whatever you can, and that's what I done. So I got in contact with him, and surprisingly, he answered back, and he told me he was living in Oklahoma, and I came to Kansas at the time for a visit from New York. I got off the plane. I actually got stuck overnight in Detroit. So I was in Detroit airport. Somebody told me that they would give me some money for my ticket, so I took it and I got the money. It was in the winter time, I believe. I believe it was. Maybe it was like fall, I don't know. So I talked to him, my phone. It was just the worst experience, guys. Like being stuck in an airport, no money, no nothing, and then finally getting some money. I was so sick that day. And then God bless his heart, this attendant guy at the airport in Detroit gave me a blanket. He covered me up with a blanket, and the blanket smelled like urine, but he said it'll keep you warm. Okay. So then I'm talking to my friend on the phone, telling him how sick I am. He's like, hey, I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You should come and see me. Like, what the fuck is Tulsa, Oklahoma? You know? So I'm like, not gonna happen in my mind, right? So when I get home, my mom picks me up from the airport, and mentioned it about my friend being in Oklahoma, and she's like, we should go down there. It's like 6 hour drive from here. So I'm like, are you crazy? So then I ended up going to meet him. Guys, I hooked up with him the first night. I know I'm such a fucking whore, right? I'm such a hoe bag, but I had history with this guy, and I always wanted to meet him, so I took the chance while I can, because I'm like, fuck, I'm about to go back to that life that I'm not happy with, that I don't want to go back to. That life that's just lonely and miserably sad, you know, and I'm so young. So I took the chance while I can and hooked up with him at his friend's house. And I did a previous video about this, about hooking up with him. So I did it, and then he decided to ask me to be his girlfriend, after. It was October when I first supposedly cheated on this older man that we knew. And he didn't know about it. I felt guilty inside. But I was so in love with the other guy. I thought I was so in love, you know. And I wanted to be with him. So I'm like, fuck it, you know. I'll just have a long distance relationship and just not tell him the truth, which was a bad decision on my part. I should have never lied. I shouldn't, you know, I mean, that hurts people when you lie, you know. So then I hooked up with him again. It was October, then November I seen him, then December I hooked up with him again. And then January I didn't see him, we was having problems. And then February rolls around, so I go and I see him again. Y'all, I'm so nasty though. I was on my period, and then it didn't stop us. We used a condom, right? And me being stupid as I am at that time, I don't know, we was having sex, right? On his living room floor, it just happened. And no, it's kind of planned. My sexual experiences have always been planned. I'm a weird person, I know, because I didn't know how to live my life, so I just did whatever I could. And then, so we did it. He wore a condom, and then, laying on my TMI, I was laying on my stomach on the floor, and then boom, it's just like that fast. He's just done, and then he freaks out and jumps up. And he's like, oh fuck, and I'm like, what? You know? And he's like, the condom, it broke off inside. I'm like, what? So I'm roll my fat ass over, and I'm like, what are you talking about? He tells me that the condom broke off and it was inside of me. So I fish it out. I had to fucking pull out the goddamn condom. And I swear to you guys, after that, I was so scared. I didn't want to go back to the old guy and tell him that what had happened. I came this close to telling him. I was afraid. And in the middle of doing whatever we were doing, you know what I mean, doing what we were doing, he had asked me about it, and I didn't lie to him. Well, I got sick one day and I thought I was pregnant. So I kept it to myself. I told the other guy that I was afraid because I was getting sick and stuff, and I thought I was pregnant, you know. So I go to the emergency room. I had to get triage and stuff, and then I go in. Then I was privately talking to the physician that was seeing me at the time, and then he asked me questions because I was having all these weird symptoms. And guys, it was my period symptoms, not knowing they were extremely bad. And I had some other things going on, but it was my period symptoms because I had very high anxiety and I was very sick all the time. So then I had IVs in my arm, and I was really like upset. I was scared. I thought I was dying because I didn't understand my body at the time. I was young. I was dumb. I didn't know. So I'm sitting there. I took a pregnancy test. They did blood work. Then the old guy, they wheel him in there in his wheelchair. So he comes in and he's sitting there and he's just waiting. And I'm like, oh my God, should I tell him now or should I just wait to die? And then the physician comes in right after they wheel this guy in here. And I'm like, no. Like my heart dropped. Everything sunk. And then the physician's like, you're not pregnant. That's good news. And I'm like, like, whew. Because I was stressing that for so long that, I mean, at least I was being responsible enough to wear condom. Like, at least I do that much, I'm not trying to catch STDs. So if you're young and you're watching this, wear a condom, get on birth control. Don't do anything crazy because you don't want to have any mistakes, unwanted mistakes at an early age. I always try to be responsible enough. I was always on birth control, whether it was a pill, the shot. I always try to protect myself because living in New York, living anywhere, you have to be really careful because you don't know what people might have. I do get monthly blood work. I get checkups. I've always been checked. I never had an STD in my life. I can honestly say that I've never been pregnant. I did lie though. That dude pissed me off. The dude that I had sex with and the condom broke off. I found out I got really mad because he was talking to other women while he was with me, and I caught him in some lies and stuff, and then I caught like inappropriate pictures in his phone. So I called him out on his shit. Then I lied to him to be a bitch because I thought it would scare him away. I told him I was pregnant, and I sent him a picture of the IV in my arm. It did not scare him away, guys. I don't know. He was a Spanish guy, but he wanted to have a baby. So I'm like, fuck it, I lied. Like, dude, I lied because I thought it would make him go away. And instead he wanted to come back. So I'm just like, eventually we broke it off because he had gotten engaged twice. And then he finally got married. So, yeah. That's how stupid I can be sometimes when I was younger. And I still have moments now as I'm older. I'm 31 now. But I just wanted to come on here and just kind of talk about that. I thought about it, I'm like, damn, I'm stupid. Like, I really, I had to fart. Okay, that's bad. So, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, retweet. Follow me on my ASMR channel, Leslie Monet ASMR. Support me on my social medias. Message me DM me for any other, information that I may have that I don't put out there. It's only for certain people. So, yeah, hit me up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you, guys. Bye.